Listen, there was a moment yesterday, yes, yesterday, when a divine sign crossed your path. But you missed it. Not because you were careless, but because you were distracted, overwhelmed, or maybe just too busy to see what God was trying to show you. This was no ordinary sign. It was crucial. A message meant just for you. And if you're not careful, ignoring these signs could lead to deep regret later. Don't let that happen again. Today, we're going to uncover what that sign could have meant, why God sends these messages, and how you can start tuning in before it's too late. 111. Divine alignment is happening now. Your thoughts are magnetic. What you think is rapidly becoming your reality. Stay focused on what uplifts your spirit and invites peace. Heaven is listening. Type 111 to claim divine alignment. 222. Balance, harmony, and restoration are entering your life. What you're praying for is being nurtured behind the scenes. Trust the divine timing. It's not a delay, it's divine orchestration. Type 222 for peace and patience. 333. Ascended Masters are near, guiding you through your next steps. You are surrounded by wisdom from above. Don't doubt the calling on your life. Lean in and trust your inner voice. Type 333 to walk in divine wisdom. 444. You are safe, protected, and surrounded by angels. Even in uncertainty, divine hands are holding you steady. Keep going. What's meant for you is on its way, and it won't miss you. Type 444 for angelic protection. 555. Major shifts are unfolding. Something is being removed to make room for greater. Change may feel chaotic, but it's birthing the breakthrough you asked for. Let go and grow. Type 555 to welcome transformation. 666. You are being called to release fears about lack and embrace spiritual truth. Recenter your heart and trust in divine provision. You are never alone in your needs. Type 666 to invite balance and clarity. 777. Heaven is applauding your faith. Spiritual rewards are on the way. The path you're on is blessed, and doors are opening without effort. Keep walking with confidence and praise. Type 777 for divine favor. 888. Abundance is being poured into your life. Financial blessings, restored opportunities, and overflow are coming. You've passed the test, now comes the reward. Type 888 to receive abundance. 000. You are at 0 point, where old things end and all possibilities begin. A divine reset is happening. Step forward and trust, because God is doing a new thing. Type 000 for new beginnings. 1010. God is aligning your life with your higher purpose. Pay attention to the inner nudges and holy whispers. You're being positioned for something greater. Type 1010 to walk in divine order. 1212. Stay the course. Your manifestations are taking form. You're being called to hold the vision even when reality looks the opposite. Miracles unfold for the one who doesn't give up. Type 1212 to lock into vision. 1313. Your prayers are being answered in ways you didn't expect. Angelic forces are moving you past setbacks. What was sent to block you will now bless you. Type 1313 to move in faith. If he gave it to you before you were healed, you might sabotage it. If he gave it to you while your identity was still tied to approval, you might worship the gift more than the giver. So he is strengthening your soul. He's purifying your motives. He's teaching your hands to steward what you've never held before. Because when the blessing comes, you won't just be a receiver, you'll be a carrier of glory, wisdom, and generational impact. The pit, the betrayal, the false accusations, the pain you endured, all of it had one intention from the enemy: to bury you. But heaven had a different plan. God is using the very things that hurt you to honor you. The stones they threw will become the foundation of the platform God builds under you. The shame they tried to clothe you in will be exchanged for a royal robe of purpose. Your life is about to be a divine contradiction. People will wonder, how did they survive that? How are they still standing? And you'll respond with one word. You've been asking God for a miracle, but He's planning more than just one answer. He's orchestrating a kingdom setup. There are people you haven't met yet who are connected to your next chapter. There are rooms you don't even know about where your name is being spoken. There are doors that will swing open not because you forced them, but because God has declared it's time. The miracle you're praying for is about more than your need, it's about God's vision. And His vision includes influence, legacy, healing, restoration, and salvation for you and for many others. You're about to see that this season of warfare has not been in vain, it's been birthing something historic. There will be no confusion when it happens. The way it unfolds will be so supernatural, so perfectly timed, so beautifully orchestrated that you won't be able to take credit. No one else will be able to take credit. Only God. The kind of miracle He's preparing is the kind that leaves people speechless. The kind that silences your enemies. Your testimony is being signed with heaven's ink. And when the moment comes, you will testify with tears in your eyes, saying, "Only God could do this." Everything you've been through, the good, the bad, the in-between, was leading you here. Nothing has been wasted. Not the detours, not the heartbreaks, not even the seasons when you felt like giving up. You were shaped for impact. Called for influence. Chosen for something greater than comfort, you were chosen for kingdom purpose. Your story carries weight. Your testimony is not small. It is prophetic. You're not just breaking through for yourself. You're breaking generational cycles. You're opening the door for others to believe again. You carry legacy. You carry fire. You carry divine destiny. Don't be surprised if the miracle comes in stages. Sometimes, the testimony isn't just in one moment, it unfolds like a divine scroll. First, a glimpse. Then a confirmation. Then a door. Then a breakthrough. Then a flood of unexpected favor. Each part of the journey will hold a piece of the testimony. And when you look back, you'll see how God wrote every line. You'll realize that even the tears had purpose. Even the delays were protection. Even the rejections were redirections. And the testimony you tell will echo beyond your lifetime. God has been doing deep work in secret. He's been reshaping you in the wilderness. Molding your identity. Removing false labels. Rebuilding your confidence on His truth. Healing what no one could see. 14:14. Structure and stability are returning to your life. The chaos is lifting. God is grounding your purpose and planting you in peace. Type 14:14 to receive divine grounding. 15:15. What feels like a disruption is really divine redirection. A new path is forming beneath your feet. Follow the peace, not the pressure. Type 15:15 for clear direction. 16:16. Let go of what you can't control. Angels are rerouting your life to protect your peace. Surrender isn't failure, it's faith. Type 1616 to rest and trust. 1717. Your purpose is activating at a deeper level. You are chosen to carry light where others fear to go. Walk boldly, your destiny is calling. Type 1717 to activate purpose. 1818. Expect divine intervention. Something big is unfolding behind the scenes. Where doors closed before, new ones will swing wide open. Type 1818 for open doors. 1919. It's time to release the past and forgive fully. The new season requires a lighter heart. Let love in. Let peace rule. Type 1919 for healing and release. 2020. Clarity is coming. What confused you will now make perfect sense. A veil is being lifted, and divine sight is being restored. Type 2020 to see clearly. 2121. Partnerships, promises, and purpose are aligning. You are entering a time where right people and right opportunities meet you where you are. Type 2121 to align with divine relationships. 2222. Everything is working together for your highest good. You are being divinely balanced and restored. Stay steady. God's plan is better than yours. Type 2222 to trust the process. 2323. Creative miracles are unfolding. What you thought was impossible is being made possible. You will laugh again, love again, rise again. Type 2323 for a creative miracle. 2424. A season of divine protection and peace is covering your home and heart. What threatened your stability is being removed by angelic force. Type 2424 for home blessings. 2525. New paths are forming under your obedience. Don't worry about how. Just walk in faith and take the next step. Provision is already prepared. Type 2525 to walk in obedience. 2626. What you've sown in silence will bloom in public. Heaven saw it all. Every tear, every prayer, it wasn't wasted. Type 2626 for your harvest. 2727. Divine mysteries are being revealed. You are unlocking new levels of understanding, insight, and spiritual depth. Wisdom is flowing to you now. Type 2727 to receive divine revelation. 2828. Expect rapid movement. A breakthrough will come that feels sudden, but it's been long in the making. God is accelerating what once crawled. Type 2828 to accelerate your breakthrough. 2929. You've outgrown old environments. Your soul is expanding. Let go with grace and make room for more. God is taking you higher. Type 2929 to rise above. 3030. Cycles are closing and new ones beginning. You are stepping into a higher octave of your life's journey. There's more to you than even you know. Type 3030 for divine elevation. 3131. Anointed doors are opening. You don't need to force it, just walk through. Your name is already known in rooms you haven't entered yet. Type 3131 for prepared blessings. Waiting on God is not wasted time. It is sacred ground. It is the place where faith is formed, endurance is refined, and trust becomes your anchor. It may feel like silence, stillness, or even delay, but what's happening behind the scenes is divine preparation. When you wait on God, you're not doing nothing, you're doing the most powerful thing you can do, you're trusting. And trust is the key that unlocks the door to divine fulfillment. You may be in a season right now where you feel like you've prayed all the prayers, cried all the tears, and obeyed every instruction. You fasted, worshipped, and stood your ground. You've said yes when it hurt, when it cost you, and when it made no sense. But still, nothing seems to have moved, yet. Let this truth settle in your spirit: God is not late. He is setting the stage for us suddenly. At any moment, God can shift you from waiting on it to walking in it. It doesn't take years. It doesn't even take days. It takes a moment ordained by heaven, a moment when your preparation meets divine timing. And when that moment comes, it will not be a gradual shift, it will be a sudden one. What felt like delay will be revealed as divine design. Because God never wastes a season. He uses every single second of your waiting to align your life with His perfect will. You see the stillness, but God sees the scaffolding. You feel the pause, but God is preparing the pieces. You hear silence, but God is speaking to the right people about you. God is working in the unseen. He's touching hearts, positioning helpers, softening resistance, and preparing a space for you to walk into what you've been waiting on. If you only knew how close you were, you'd understand why the enemy has fought you so hard lately. The pressure increased because the promise is near. You didn't miss it. You're being moved into it. God sees the quiet obedience, the moments no one else sees. He's seen the days when you've praised Him while nothing made sense. He's counted the tears you've cried in secret. He's heard the words you whispered at night when your heart was breaking. And here is His promise: you will reap what you've sown. You will walk in what you've warred for. Your faithfulness will not go unrewarded. Your surrender will not return void. God's word never fails. It cannot return empty, it must accomplish what He sent it out to do. There were some doors He didn't let you walk through because they were traps in disguise. Some people left your life because their presence would have corrupted the promise. Some opportunities didn't come because they would have been a distraction, not a destiny. You were praying, "God, open the door," and He was responding, "I love you too much to let you walk through that one." Every no was really a not yet. Every pause was a layer of divine mercy. You weren't being denied. You were being developed. There is always a wilderness before the promise. There is always a training ground before the throne. Look at Joseph. He was sold into slavery, falsely accused, and forgotten in prison. But suddenly, in one day, God shifted him from the prison to the palace. David was tending sheep, forgotten by his family, and pursued by enemies. But suddenly, he was crowned king and given victory over every adversary. Jesus Himself spent 30 years in preparation for 3 years of ministry. And even after His death, the miracle came suddenly on the third day when the stone was rolled away. God is not slow. He is strategic. The promise will not be fulfilled by stress, striving, or self-effort. It will be fulfilled by trust. And trust is active. It's doing what God said, even when nothing is changing yet. God will often let the situation look impossible so that when He moves, no one else can get the credit. He will let the story reach the breaking point just so you'll know it wasn't your strength, it was His Spirit. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. Your faith is the soil in which miracles grow. And God says today, keep watering the promise with your trust. I'm about to make it bloom. When you're about to give up is often when you're the closest to the breakthrough. The enemy wants you to quit now because he knows what's about to unfold. You feel tired, not because you're weak, but because you've been wrestling for something powerful. The spiritual labor pains are increasing, not because you missed it, but because it's about to be born. The shift is coming. God's timing is about to meet your obedience. You're about to go from obscurity to visibility, preparation to possession, waiting to walking, believing to receiving. What God has for you is not fragile. It cannot be stolen, buried, or broken beyond repair. Your destiny is protected by the power of heaven. Even when others tried to sabotage it, even when you felt like you blew it, God preserved the plan. That means even when you wandered, even when you doubted, even when you felt unworthy, God never revoked the promise. It's still waiting for you. And at any moment, the shift can happen. Often before God moves you into the next thing, He gives you a new instruction. And it may seem small, unrelated, or strange. It might be, forgive someone who hurt you. Let go of an old relationship. Clean out your space. Give something away. Start waking up earlier. Write the vision down again. These instructions aren't random. They're divine keys that unlock the shift. Don't overlook them. Obedience is often the bridge between waiting and walking. It may not look like it, but you're standing on the edge of answered prayer. The signs may be subtle, but the Spirit knows. You've shifted. The atmosphere has changed. You're not just waiting anymore. You're being pulled forward. You're being invited into what you were created for. Even when your emotions say otherwise, heaven says, you're almost there. God doesn't tease. He doesn't dangle promises to disappoint you. He's a finisher. And if He began it in you, He will complete it. You'll go from hidden to highlighted. From praying for it to praising in it. From barely getting by to overflowing. From overlooked to chosen. And it won't take long. When the appointed time comes, the transition will be swift. So swift, you won't have time to question it. God will make it obvious. What didn't work before will now fall into place effortlessly. What was closed will now open. The favor you needed will find you. Suddenly, it will all make sense. This isn't just about your dream. This is about the people your dream will impact. That's why the battle has been so intense. That's why the waiting has been so long. Because the promise you're about to walk into will bless more than just you, it will bless generations. God's plan through you is massive. And it required a deep foundation. But now, the time of waiting is shifting into a time of birthing. And what comes forth will bear the fingerprint of heaven. God is moving, even when you can't see it. The shift from waiting to walking can happen at any moment. And when it does, everything will change. Your heart will understand the process. Your tears will be redeemed. Your faith will have been worth it. Keep trusting. You're about to walk in what you once only dreamed of. The promise is closer than you think. The shift is nearer than it looks. And the fulfillment is greater than you imagined. Absolutely. Here is a brand new, different, and longer 9,000-word God message based on the powerful theme you've just shared. Child of God, heaven has seen every moment you pushed through pain when quitting would have been easier. Every tear you cried in the dark. Every time your knees hit the floor in silent prayer. You've been through storms, loss, rejection, confusion, and moments of deep loneliness, but you never stopped walking. You may not have realized it, but while you were surviving the storm, you were also becoming someone new. The pain didn't just bruise you, it built you. And now, the Lord says, you've reached the turning point. You are no longer in the wilderness. You're on the edge of your Jordan River. The battles that once defined you will no longer confine you. The pain that shaped you will no longer delay you. This is the place where everything begins to shift. Don't overlook the miracle of your perseverance. You endured seasons that were meant to destroy you. You went through betrayals that could have hardened your heart. You faced delays, denials, and dry places, and still, you kept trusting God. There's a type of strength that only comes from holding on when everything inside of you wanted to let go. And you, child of God, held on. Yes, you had days of doubt. Yes, you questioned the journey. But you never let go of the hand of the one leading you. And that kind of faith, faith forged in fire, is exactly what heaven uses to release glory. God never promised the road would be smooth, but He did promise He would be with you. The mess was never a sign of His absence, it was a part of the making. What looked like chaos was actually construction. There are things in your life that had to be torn down so God could build what was lasting. There are relationships that had to fall away, patterns that had to be broken, attachments that had to be severed. You called it loss, but God called it clearing the path. Now, on the other side of that mess, comes clarity. God is bringing order to what once felt chaotic. He's showing you why things happened the way they did. You'll begin to see divine fingerprints in places you once saw only pain. The turning point isn't just a change in your circumstances, it's a shift in your spirit. Something in you has been awakening. You've been sensing it. You've been feeling the pull. You can't explain it, but you know something is different. This is not your imagination. This is the divine shift. This is God rerouting your life from wandering to winning, from weeping to walking in favor. You've entered a time where every step is taking you forward. The doors that once slammed shut will now begin to open. The things that didn't make sense will now become revelation. The favor that was stored up is now being released. This is the beginning of everything shifting. God doesn't ignore pain. He collects it. Scripture says He's seen your suffering, but more importantly, He's seen your faithfulness in the middle of it. You're not just coming into blessing, you're stepping into justice. Divine justice. God is about to make things right in your life in a way only He can. This is the God we serve, the one who turns graves into gardens. The one who takes what the enemy meant for evil and flips it for your good. He doesn't just remove pain, He redeems it. God wastes nothing. The things that once made you feel weak will now be the very areas He uses to release strength through you. And now, child of God, hear this, your life-changing blessing is not only coming, it's already in motion. You may not see it yet, but the spiritual realm is shifting. Angels have been dispatched. Doors are opening in places you haven't even stepped into yet. Divine connections are forming. The right people are being drawn to you. The season of almost and not yet is turning into now. When the blessing arrives, you'll understand why you had to wait. You'll understand why God said no to lesser things. You'll understand why it couldn't happen sooner, because this blessing required a version of you that could carry it. God was preparing the blessing, yes, but He was also preparing you. Because the weight of glory requires strength. And now, you have that strength. Now, you are ready. Now, you can be trusted with what's about to be poured out. Others will look at your life and ask, how did they make it through that? And you'll smile, not because it was easy, but because God made a way. Your testimony will carry power. It will break chains. It will restore hope. It will call the weary home. What you've walked through is going to help others walk out of what they're in. Your story is about to speak life to others. Your breakthrough will birth breakthroughs for those around you. You didn't suffer in silence for nothing. God is about to use your pain as a platform. There are seasons where God takes his time, and then there are moments where he accelerates things. You're stepping into a season of sudden acceleration. Because the blessing coming isn't just about timing, it's about divine favor. And favor is never fair. Favor will place you in rooms you didn't apply for. It will bring opportunities that seem to find you. It will cause things to fall into place suddenly. God is not asking for perfection, he's asking for surrender. The enemy wants to replay your past like a broken record, but God has thrown your sins into the sea of forgetfulness. You don't have to carry the burden anymore. Grace has covered it. Love has redeemed it. Mercy has rewritten it. This blessing is not coming because you earned it. It's coming because God chose you to receive it. This won't be a blessing that pulls you away from God, it will pull you closer. It will be evidence of his love. It will remind you of how faithful he's been all along. You will look at the blessing and know, only God could have done this. And most importantly, it will align with your purpose. This isn't a surface-level reward. This is a purposeful release. As you stand at the edge of this divine turning point, God may give you final instructions. Don't overlook them. These small steps are often the final keys that open the floodgates. Don't grow weary. You're on the edge of everything changing. Beloved, you have endured well. You've been faithful when it hurt, trusted when it was dark, and stood when others walked away. You have reached the turning point. The mess will not define you. My promise will. I am making all things new. I am redeeming the time. I am restoring what was lost. I am fulfilling what I spoke over you. Do not fear the shift. You were born for this. The blessing is already forming, and when it arrives, you will know, this is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Be still. Be expectant. I am not finished, I am just beginning. There comes a moment in every believer's life where it seems like everyone else is moving forward, and you're standing still. You look around and see doors opening for others. You see weddings, new jobs, promotions, answered prayers, and breakthrough testimonies, while your own prayers feel met with silence. It's easy in these moments to believe the lie that God has forgotten you. But here is heaven's truth: God is not late. He's setting the stage for something greater than you asked for. You are not behind schedule, you are being divinely held in place for the exact moment when it will all make sense. God doesn't delay to punish you. He delays to prepare you, protect you, and position you. If he gave it to you prematurely, it would come without the foundation to hold it. But now you're being strengthened beneath the surface. Your character is growing. Your discernment is sharpening. Your wisdom is deepening. Your roots are stretching downward because your fruit is about to be multiplied upward. It's not punishment. It's strategy. It's heaven's wisdom in disguise. What looked like a setback in your life was actually a setup. You lost that opportunity because God had something greater that needed more space. You endured that heartbreak because it was actually protecting your heart for someone more aligned with his vision for your life. The doors that closed were not rejections, they were redirections. God doesn't waste pain. And he certainly doesn't abandon those he loves in transition. He is orchestrating a new beginning, one that requires you to let go of the idea that you've been left behind. You haven't missed it. You're right on time. Not when you feel ready. Not when others think it's time. But when he says it's time, everything will accelerate. This season isn't about you chasing after what you think you need. This season is about trusting that heaven is already working behind the scenes, setting things in motion on your behalf. The delay has been doing more for you than you realize. Clarified your desires, refining what you actually need. Strengthened your faith, so when the blessing arrives, you won't question if you're ready for it. God has been doing more in the delay than you could see in the moment. But in time, you'll look back and realize it was one of the most productive, protected, and powerful seasons of your life. Just because others got there first doesn't mean your promise is void. You're not late. You're being fortified. And when you rise, you'll rise stronger, deeper, wiser, and more anointed. Don't compare timelines. Comparison is a thief of purpose. What God is building in you is custom made. You don't need their path, you need His presence. And in His presence, time bends to purpose. Miracles happen. Breakthroughs release. Restoration comes swiftly. You haven't lost anything that God can't restore. Not time. Not opportunities. Not relationships. Not hope. God isn't just restoring things, He's restoring you. Your joy. Your fire. Your confidence. Your divine identity. This is not a season of settling. It's a season of supernatural restoration. There were moments where it felt like everything was falling apart. Doors slammed in your face. People walked away. Opportunities vanished. You questioned everything. But what you didn't know was that your greatest disappointment would become the gateway to your divine destiny. Sometimes God allows what's good to fall apart so He can bring what's God ordained together. That job didn't work out? Because the next one will align with your calling. That person left? Because someone who will honor your worth is on the way. That dream seemed to die? Because God is resurrecting it with power and purpose. You're not being left behind. You're being led forward. What you've been carrying spiritually is about to come forth. You've been in a womb season, hidden, protected, seemingly still. But that stillness was sacred. Just as in the womb, things develop unseen before being revealed, so too has God been forming new life in you. Now, the contractions have begun. The pressure you feel? That's spiritual birth pain. The shaking? That's the shift. The stretching? That's the preparation for expansion. And when it arrives, it will come suddenly. When it comes, it will make you forget the waiting. Just like Sarah laughed when Isaac arrived, you will laugh again. You will rejoice again. You will stand in awe and say, I almost gave up, but look what the Lord has done. Overflow where there was once emptiness. Beauty rising from the ashes of your pain. This is not wishful thinking. This is prophetic reality. It's already forming in the spiritual realm. It may feel quiet, but don't mistake silence for stillness. Heaven is moving. The promise is alive. It has a pulse. And just like a seed grows underground before breaking through the soil, your blessing is about to break through. Can you feel it? That's the heartbeat of the promise. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to strive. You just need to stay planted. Remain rooted in God's presence. Keep trusting. Refuse to lean on your own understanding. Prepare in faith. Start making room for what's coming. Speak life. Declare His word over your future. Rest. The God who began the work will complete it. Your part is obedience. His part is overflow. He's never failed you. Not once. Not ever. Look back on your life. Even in the darkest seasons, God came through. It may not have looked the way you expected, but it was always exactly what you needed. This time will be no different. The same God who split the sea, who made water flow from the rock, who raised the dead, who calmed the storm, is the God who's about to move for you. I will not settle for less than what God has for me. I will trust the process, because the promise still stands. God is not late. He's setting the stage for something greater. My child, I have not forgotten you. You are engraved in the palm of my hand. I know it's been long. I know it's been hard. But I am not a man that I should lie. I will fulfill every word I've spoken over your life. The delay has not been denial, it's been divine strategy. What I am preparing for you will not only bless you, it will bless others through you. Your testimony will be a weapon in the hands of heaven. Do not let weariness steal your wonder. Do not let doubt drown out my voice. I am the Lord of divine timing, and I will make it happen. Suddenly, swiftly, supernaturally. Your season of divine fulfillment is here. Be ready. Be expectant. Be still and watch me work.